Book 1. Canto 70. The maiden sought. Then with the morn's returning sun, King Janak, when his rites were done, skilled all the charms of speech to know, spoke to wise Satananda so, "My brother, lord of glorious fame, my younger, Kusadwaj by name, whose virtuous life has won renown, has settled in a lovely town, Sankasya, decked with grace divine, whose glories bright as pushbucks shine, while Ikshumati rolls her wave her lofty ramparts foot to lave. Him, holy priest, I long to see, the guardian of my right is he, that my dear brother may not miss a share of mine expected bliss." Thus in the presence of the priest the royal Janak spoke, and ceased. Then came his henchman, prompt and brave, to whom his charge the monarch gave. Soon as they heard his will, in haste with fleetest steeds away they raced, to lead with them that Lord of Kings, as Indra's call Lord Vishnu brings. Sankasya's walls they duly gained, and audience of the king obtained. To him they told the news they brought of marvels past and Janak's thought. Soon as the king the story knew from those good envoys swift and true, to Janak's wish he gave assent, and swift to Mithila he went. He paid to Janak reverence due, and holy Satananda too, then sate him on a glorious seat for kings or gods celestial meet. Soon as the brothers, noble pair peerless in might, were seated there, they gave the wise Sudaman, best of counselors, their high behest, "Go, noble counselor," they cried, "and hither to our presence guide Ikshvaku's son Ayodhya's lord, invincible by foeman's sword, with both his sons, each holy seer, and every minister and peer." Sudaman to the palace flew, and saw the mighty king who threw splendor on Raghu's splendid race, then bowed his head with seemly grace, "O king, whose hand Ayodhya sways, my lord, whom Mithila obeys, yearns with desire, if thou agree, thee with thy guide and priest to see." Soon as the counselor had ceased, the king, with saint and peer and priest, sought, speeding through the palace gate, the hall where Janak held his state. There, with his nobles round him spread, thus to Videha's lord be said, "Thou knowest, king, whose aid divine protects Ikshvaku's royal line. In every need, whatever befall, the saint Vasishtha speaks for all. If Visvamitra so allow, and all the saints around me now, the sage will speak, at my desire, as order and the truth require." Soon as the king his lips had stilled, uprose Vasishtha, speaker skilled. And to Videha's lord began in flowing words that holy man, from viewless nature Brahma rose, no change, no end, no waste he knows. A son had he Marichi styled, and Kasyap was Marichi's child. From him Vivasvat sprang, from him Manu whose fame shall ne'er be dim. Manu, who life to mortals gave, begot Ikshvaku good and brave. First of Ayodhya's kings was he, pride of her famous dynasty. From him the glorious Kukshi sprang, whose fame through all the regions rang. Rival of Kukshi's ancient fame, his heir, the great Vikukshi, came, his son was Vana, lord of might, his Anaranya, strong to fight. His son was Prithu, glorious name, from him the good Trisanku came. He left a son renowned afar, known by the name of Dundamar. His son, who drove the mighty car, was Yuvanasva, feared in war. He passed away. Him followed then his son Mandata, king of men. His son was blessed in high emprise, Susandi, fortunate and wise. Two noble sons had he, to wit Dhruvasandi and Prasenajit. Bharat was Dhruvasandi's son, and glorious fame that monarch won. The warrior Usit he begot. Usit had warfare, fierce and hot, with rival kings in many a spot, Hihayas, Talajangas styled, and Sasavindas, strong and wild. Long time he strove, but forced to yield fled from his kingdom and the field. With his two wives away he fled where high Himalaya lifts his head, and, all his wealth and glory past, he paid the dues of fate at last. The wives he left had both conceived, so is the ancient tale believed, one, of her rivals hopes afraid fell poison in her viands laid. It chanced that Chivan, Bhrigu's child, had wandered to that pathless wild, and there Himalaya's lovely height detained him with a strange delight. There came the other widowed queen, with lotus eyes and beauteous mien, longing a noble son to bear, and wooed the saint with earnest prayer. When thus calling thee, fairest dame, with reverent supplication came, to her the holy sage replied, born with the poison from thy side, O happy queen, shall spring ere long an infant fortunate and strong. Then weep no more, and check thy sighs, sweet lady of the lotus eyes. The queen, who loved her perished lord, for meet reply, the saint adored, and, of her husband long bereaved, she bore a son by him conceived. Because her rival mixed the bane to render her conception vain, and fruit unripened to destroy, Sagar she called her darling boy. To Sagar Asamanj was heir, bright Ansuman his consort bare. Ansuman's son, Dilipa famed, begot a son Bhagirath named. From him the great Kakutstha rose, from him came Raghu, feared by foes, of him sprang Purushadak bold, fierce hero of gigantic mold, Kalmashapata's name he bore, because his feet were spotted o'er. From him came Sankan, and from him Siddharsan, fair in face and limb. From beautiful Siddharsan came Prince Agnivarna, bright as flame. His son was Sagraga, for speed unmatched, and Maru was his seed. Prasasruka was Maru's child, his son was Ambarisha styled. Nahush was Ambarisha's heir, the mighty lord of regions fair. Nahush begot Yayati, he, Nabhag of happy destiny. Son of Nabhag was Aya, his, the glorious Dasaratha is, whose noble children boast to be Rama and Lakshman, whom we see. Thus do those kings of purest race their lineage from Ikshvaka trace, their hero lives the right maintained, their lips with falsehood ne'er were stained. In Rama's and in Lakshman's name thy daughters as their wives I claim, so shall in equal bands be tied each peerless youth with peerless bride.